Yvonne.
Hey,
Well,
Mike, I have a question. Now, Terry got an order yesterday, wait, this morning. It was different. They asked him to serve on a Facebook page. And, well, first of all, he's still old school. He doesn't even have one. I do. But he said, what I'm going to do, I've never had a Facebook request. And he's not here. So to explain it to you guys, I said, I meet with the group today. I'm going to ask them.
yeah.
So has anyone ever, I mean, this is the first time we've ever heard of this. So can somebody explain if you've ever had this event? How do
I've,
you serve on Facebook?
I've helped somebody do it. Has anyone here done it? I haven't served anyone myself, but I can explain to you why and the legality of it if you want.
He sent it back. I said, well, baby, I said, we live in Texas. I don't know if that's legit. I said, I've never heard of that. I've never heard Mike them talk about Facebook, nobody.
Yeah,
So he said,
it's
I'm gonna
legit.
reject it. He just rejected it and said, no, it wasn't with the letter company, but it was another one of their competitors. So
Mm. So it's like, why don't they do it then, right? Yeah, okay.
uh-huh.
Well,
I want to ask.
I saw Jessica raise her hand. I don't know if that was an accident. Maybe she served someone. I think she did say she served someone on Facebook before.
Was it a Texas paper, Yvonne?
Like I said, he had just got the order this morning, so he when he said that to me, and I had just did my CE this weekend too. So I said, well, we talked about a lot of things, honey, but that is not one of them. I said, I don't know. He said, I'm just gonna reject this. I don't know anything about it. I don't feel comfortable doing this. I don't even know how to do it.
Because I know Texas, no matter what, we have to do it in person. I know there's, there'll be some say, oh, you can email if you get the judge's orders, but that still is, when it comes down to it, if the judge accepts it, it can be, but it can be fought, and because the law says one thing, even if the judge accepts it, the law is one thing for us process servers on getting it for the state of Texas. So on appeals, it can still be challenged.
So Adele, you're getting into some like deep waters there.
I will let somebody else do that one. Adele, I don't want to be the first one to try something that we don't know anything about. We didn't do it.
No, that's some law and order stuff there.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, Mike. And he felt the same way. I said, that's not worth any amount of money. He said, babe, I'm not going to do this. And he left, so he's not here to talk about it. But I would definitely write down some information. But I know in Texas, you can. That's what they told us in the class. You almost can't do anything, and you really have to watch your P's and Q's and not just take risks. And we're not going to do that one.
Well, Yvonne, I will tell you before I go to Alex here. I will tell you that if a judge says you can do it, you can do it. Whether it gets appealed or not, or all that kind of stuff, this is a judge. The judge is the one trying the case. They have literal jurisdiction over the court in that case. They can say, I will accept it and do it. And then maybe you serve it. And Jessica gave an example of how she did it. She says, well, my clients will share. Yeah. So they share the court order. And it's the same exact thing with when you're serving an eviction and you want to post it. Like for California, if you want to serve an eviction, 415.46, I think it is, something like that, you have to get an order from the judge. And so when you post it and you do your proof of service, it literally says posting, we didn't serve personally, we didn't serve by subservice, we served by alternative means, by the court order signed according to California Code CP 415.46, and the judge's signed order on this date, see attached. And then you attach the order. That's how you do a posting. It's the same way I helped somebody do it before on Facebook, and that's how we had to do it. We had to get the order from the judge, and then so my first question, if I was Terry's, would be like, "Do you have the order? Let me take a look at the order. If the order is official, it's signed, it has the judge's signature, all that seal and stuff, I would do it. I would do it just for the experience, and then and I would charge a premium." That's the other thing is you're a business owner. Like, yeah, we do Facebook serves. It starts out at $422. and then we give you a certified, and make it seem like this great service that you're going to offer. What are all the things that are surrounding this? You do a screenshot, and Mighty Process Server is going to have the ability to e-serve. It's going to be the last thing that I add, because it's not something that we want to encourage, right? We want to keep things physical and in person, but it is a reality of the future. And so we are going to add it as an alternative method for clients to upload a court order and then e-serve if it's allowed. Alex.
That was my next question. You pretty much said it. We don't want to encourage other entities to kind of bypass the certified people, And then my question is, can you still be, or can you serve without a certification via Facebook? Because back in the I think 3-4 weeks ago, I attended the FAPS convention, and that was the subject. Someone mentioned that there's even case law supporting service via Facebook. And I feel as if it poses a threat to our profession. I mean, you see what's going on with A&S Corporation. So that's just another, element or another step towards eliminating us.
Well, what you said is actually very heavy but this is why you got to create laws to protect it. So what you just pointed out is a gap in the industry that hasn't been addressed because of technology. And so currently in Florida, you either get appointed, right? Or it's either by the sheriff or by that district, right? That district court. It's the same thing that if a certain court or judge says, and that's, I think, how they do it, right? They give a special appointment. The court actually in some areas says you can be a server for this court, right, in Florida. And so if somebody's going to serve someone on Facebook, it's always going to be by a judge. So having case law, or not case law, but having laws passed that say it has to be done by a server, that is like essential that every state starts to implement that, because if not, there's nothing that stops the court from just going, okay, counsel, just have one of your paralegals, they won't say that. They'll just say, okay, it needs to be served by Facebook's the only way it can be served. And the attorney says, yes, they fill out a request for service via Facebook because that's the only communication method we have with the X.